For the most realistic steering system available on the market, look no further than Sim Steering from Leo Bodnar. Designed and hand-built at the home of British Motorsport's Silverstone circuit, it's extensively used by professional driver training centres and race teams including Formula 1 since 2010. The high precision and completely linear response coupled with high strength provides the ultimate in realistic steering force feedback. Visit simsteering.com.
Take your hobby to the next level with a quality racing rig that works great with a PS3, Xbox 360, and a PC. GT Omega Racing Simulator is compatible with a wide range of steering wheels including Logitech, Fanatec, Thrustmaster, and more. The GT Omega is available now worldwide by going to www.gtomegaracing.com.
Good morning and welcome to ARL-TV. I'm Alex Simpson and I'm joined by nobody in the commentary box today, so I'm afraid it's my dulcet tones all race long, but I'm sure we will muster through somehow. We are here for the V8 Supercar Championship and it is Mount Panorama circuit, Bathurst. What a fantastic venue for round 5. Sun is shining, weather is great for racing. I'm sure the drivers are looking forward to this one. Tom Jones won last year's race here, last season shall we say, sorry. And I think he's looking pretty tidy, perhaps for another one. It's not always about the fastest driver around this circuit. Very, very tricky, easy to make lots of mistakes, and we saw in practice some of the best, like Tobias, going off in a big way. So it's going to be about a 2-hour long race, or just under 42 laps, I believe it is today. So yeah, 42 laps just to confirm. Yes, it's going to be a long one. Qualifying's underway at the moment. We'll take a quick look, see how that's going in a short sec. But just to quickly first thank all the sponsors of the series, GTOmegaracing.com. If you're interested in racing rig or an office seat kind of chair, wheel stands, some accessories for all those bits. I believe they even do some butt kickers and stuff like that. Please do go check them out, gtomegaracing.com. They do ship worldwide, but you know, I know obviously some of the Australians might be watching, can be a little bit expensive, but I'm pretty sure they do have some distributors. So ask Leo about that. Leo Bodnar, for all your electrical steering systems and all sorts of other little gizmos and devices, but want to build yourself a button box, go check out leobodnar.com. They've got all of the component boards to be able to do all that. Support's great from those guys as well, and they'll help you in your little project. As well as Sim Garage, if you want to just buy a button box off the shelf, simgarage.com. Got some good little bit of software in the pipeline, telemetry and all sorts of that, so keep an eye on their website for that. That's simgarage.com. Not to also forget some of the other sponsors of the series as well, Coastal Kitchenware, Kimmy's Rural Fencing, those guys long time sponsors, and Tom, Mark, all them lot, they all help out in getting this series up and going. So yeah, big shout out to those. Don't forget to follow us on the social media, so at Apex Racing TV for Twitter, /ARLTV for Facebook, and we are also Apex Racing TV for YouTube. Right, let's just take a quick look at the provisional standing, provisional grid order. 3 minutes to go, probably a couple of laps left for the drivers out there. Tobias does have a pole position. He was the fastest driver last season, but failed to convert it. So Tobias leading the championship at the moment with 2 minutes 674. So Kurt, his teammate behind him, and Jake, also his teammate behind him. So the guys looking pretty useful there. Trevor Johnson in 4th place, some 2 seconds back. That's the thing with Bathurst, the gaps can be absolutely enormous here. But You know, there's nothing wrong with a 2:09 lap time. Sometimes just getting around can get yourself a top 5 position. Aaron Hamilton in 5th provisionally. Let's just quickly whip through the others as we see Jake there just invalidating his lap, just skimming the wall. And I think that's probably Tobias doing exactly the same thing. Can be the issue with this circuit. Walls are very close. In parts it's Monaco-esque, but just a hell of a lot faster. Undulations are crazy when the guys are coming down through the mountains. Brenton and O'Brien here. Damien McConkey. For Kimi's Rural Fencing, I think he's in the Aloha car. He is indeed. Yep, that one's definitely an invalid lap. Always tricky coming down through that hill, change of directions, undulations, really unsettle the car. You really need a good balance here. And it's very tricky because you've got some massive straightaway sections as well, so you need a lot of straight line speed, so you want to set that car up so it slips through the air as best as possible, but also to have good change of direction, but also a lot of traction out of these slow speed corners. And it's a combination that doesn't work particularly well as far as the setup's concerned, which is what makes this track so challenging. If you've got any questions or anything today, please feel free to ask me on YouTube. I'll be monitoring that throughout the course of the race. But yeah, just a little over 30 seconds. Let me just quickly see if I can bring up the championship standings and see how everything has been going. While I do that, let's just jump on board with the current pole sitter, just see if he'll take us through a lap. And he won't, as he's in the pits. No time left, everybody's finishing up. Right, just wait for everyone to cross the line before I take you through the final order for today's race. Right, so everybody just finishing up their laps now. Let's just bring up the standings. Let's have a look. That's Chan just finishing up. Perhaps not going to make a difference to the front side of that grid, but Chan definitely a driver who's improving quickly, as we see so often in this series. Right, so Tobias Cherney, as Chan comes across, does indeed take pole position with 2 minutes 7.6, so he did improve slightly. Kurt behind him, just under a second behind, but nonetheless still an impressive time. And his teammate in 3rd place as well, Jake Burton, so 2 minutes 8.9. Trevor Johnson does to hold on to that 4th place, and Tom Jones just pops up into 5th. So the Power Bond guys looking particularly good. NZ Motorsport only featuring the one driver, I think, today in Trevor, and Tom Jones in the Coastal Kitchenware car, KRF car. It takes up the final place in the top 5. Aaron Hamilton is in 6th place with Will Dodd in 7th. Mark Warmington takes an impressive 8th. Jamie Peters in 9th. Shane Brook is in 10th. Brenton O'Brien comes across the line for 11th place on the grid. Shane Best is 12th. Isaac De Figueiredo is 13th. Arnold Culler in 14th. Damien McConkey in 15th. Jamie Eaton is 16th Weihan Chan is 17th. Got Renz in 18th and Niels in 19th. Tricky track to set a time. A few guys will be starting from the back that perhaps just didn't get a lap in there. Going to be very, very tricky for them making their way through this circuit up to the front. Just all about patience here today. Final few drivers just taken to the grid. Right, round 5 of the V8 Supercar Series coming to you today from Bathurst circuit. Everybody is on the grid, lights are coming on, revs are building, Tobias looking good, perhaps for another victory, gets off the line well, a couple of cars just blinking in the background there. Powerbomb guys just cover off everybody. Trevor Johnson having a look up the inside, but he's coming under pressure from Tom Jones. Tom Jones makes that move into turn 1. Everybody else filters through nice and clean. It's all about finding some space going into what will be the mountain. Everybody knows this is a long old race here today, 42 laps. No need to try anything crazy on this lap 1. Take your time, give everybody room. Looks like that's the case. Yeah, so far so good still. Brenton definitely a bit flickery out there, causing the guys perhaps just a little bit of concern that are following him. Need to give him that extra few feet of room just in case he pops up right where they don't want him to be. We've been joined in the commentary box by Luke Emerton. Good evening, Luke.
Good evening, buddy. How you going? Sorry I didn't change my name on CS.
Yeah, it's alright, buddy. Just glad to have you in here. I'm sure everybody else is as well. Don't want to listen to me for 2 hours. On me, Todd.
I know you're doing a pretty good job while I didn't have a screen up there. It was very entertaining.
Yeah, as the guys make their way down from the mountain through the back straight. Everybody survives lap 1. It's good to see. Quite a big gap formed through sort of like the mid-pack. Not quite sure what that is. Just goes to show the difference in lap times here. A lot of confidence. This is what this track needs. If you're happy that you can lap at your pace, you're going to do well. Got a driver into the pits. I'm not sure who that is.
Looks like Tom's in, mate, from the KRF team.
That's the same Tom. Got such a great start up there in front of Trevor. Must have skimmed the wall off camera or something like that. Just perhaps a bit of suspension damage.
Yeah, can't see any damage on his driver's side. Possibly brush wall, although he's only just made a quick stop, so not sure what's happened there. He might have got a... I know he couldn't have got a black flag that early, you wouldn't think.
I'm wondering if he's left his qualifying setup on and he had short fuel. Thought he'll make the call now. Top it up. Hopefully we'll grab him at the end of the race, see what happened.
Yeah, it's unfortunate he got a good start there and having to do the pit stop only on the first lap, so...
Yeah, Aaron Hamilton losing the pack that's in front of him right now. But as I said earlier, this race is certainly not a sprint. It's all about just keeping it clean, doing what you need to do, staying out of those walls, minimise the amount of times you're going to come into the pits. The drivers have got fast tow for today's race, well, as normal to be fair, but I expect them all to probably use it at some point.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be using it too early, just in case you're pushing near the end on old tyres or something like that. You might need it, so no point throwing it away early, that's for sure.
yeah, let's just jump quickly on board and have a look, see what's going on at the front, as most of the action's been towards the middle.
Yeah, the field getting quite spread out quite early. Don't know what the quali laps are like, but
yeah, there was quite a gap actually with the quali times. I think it's quite common here. Such a long track and very, very challenging. But yeah, so the guys spreading apart. I mean, Tobias took pole position by just under 1 second. So he was the fastest driver last season round here as well. But as I pointed out earlier to the guys, he didn't win last season's race. Tom Jones won it. So just goes to show it's not always about being the fastest around here. It's keeping it out of those walls for what is going to be a really long race today.
Yeah, definitely consistency, the big word of the day here. So, but Tobias already stretching that lead right out at the moment. He's had a good run earlier today, so he managed a 2nd place in the American split earlier on at lunchtime. So he's definitely had a lot of practice, already doing 30 odd laps around here. So.
And someone in the wall there in the background, not sure who that was. See if we can I think it might have been Ren, I'm not sure. We know I've got another car struggling out there as well. Yeah, Brenton's flashing all over the place and driver's got no clue where he is at the moment. In fact, he's just disappeared and there he is appearing down the straight. It's really, really hurting. Well, I think Shane at the moment's behind him. He checked up a lot. He's going to get a move put on him here by Arnoff. Down the back straight through the sweeping right-hander. And Shane was just offline there, usually using that really outside line, sweeping in. Did well to actually keep that under control on the grass there. She usually curtains when you just get a couple of wheels there.
Yeah, definitely the sand trap had its arms out ready to catch him on that one.
You got Isaac behind, obviously trying to take advantage of it as well. Shane went particularly deep into that last turn. Isaac having a little look. He's got to sort of be careful here. He's got Damo having a look up the inside as well. On the outside, it's not going to happen around there, I don't think. Oh, a little bit of wiggle for Isaac.
Yeah, good little battle going on there. Down towards 13th, 14th, 15th. You got Tom catching him at a massive rate of speed, so you know, be nice and interesting as he navigates his way through some of the mid-pack.
Yeah, Luke, I'm sure you've done a race or two around here. I have to confess I haven't actually competed in a race around here. My focus on the F1 car doesn't come here, which is a bit of a shame because I think it'd be epic track around here with the F1 car. But yeah, what's the challenges the guys are going to face now? I mean, we're lap 5, starting to think about wanting to make a move around the drivers in front of them.
Yeah, as I heard somebody else say today, it's not so much you're not trying to race the guy in front or worry about the guy behind you, it's just sticking to your time and just putting in those consistent laps. If you try and push the car too much, you'll hurt the tyres, and round here it's no good, especially if you're going around the top of the mountain there. Just especially on this track, there's a slight touch on the wall, and you can easily get a meatball. So you just drive to your times. If you catch a driver, then you worry about him then, but you don't worry about any gaps forward or behind you. I mean, you can put into practice, but you never know. Most races I've done around here, I've done a couple now, but I just seem to do the same thing, and you tend to find a lot of guys, those ones that do try and push, they end up getting themselves in trouble, and you'll gain a lot of positions just from people getting off tracks, etc. So.
Yeah, I just seen we've got one of our former champions tuned into the broadcast. 5 o'clock in the morning. He says drinking. He says drinking some coffee, but I'm sure he's got a beer in his hand, really.
Yes, more than likely a warm beer by the sound of it, being that early in the morning.
Or a late night. One of the two.
Very late night. Now it looks like we've had a few retirements, although Zach disconnected, Zach Baker, but he's reconnected, so not sure if it was a connection issue there. And also Stephen Williams has been disconnected as well, so.
Yeah, grid's down a little bit on what we've seen in recent weeks. I'm guessing that's just the challenge of the circuit. Some of the drivers just not man enough to give it a blast, I guess.
Yeah, so there was a few names on the forum which we won't mention that were saying that, hour and a half, no, I can't do it, I mean, it is a long time though around this circuit, I must admit, but it's all fun and games.
I remember one of the, just to plug another series, I'm sure the guys won't mind, but the Neo Endurance Championship round here, sort of 2.5 hour race. That was pretty epic, and yeah, the guys all at the end of the race just saying how absolutely knackered they were. I don't think it's going to be very, very different here as well. The V8 just perhaps a little bit more of a handful to drive than some of those GT cars.
Yeah, especially once these tyres wear down a little bit after about, they start to go off probably after about 10 laps, maybe even sooner depending on how you drive it, so trying to keep the concentration up and not hit it into a wall around this top corner that they're going through now is very difficult. Tom's making a huge charge here at the moment, coming up behind Isaac. Already worked his way from last back up to 14th.
Yeah, he's doing it slow and steady as well. I mean, his teammate in front of him, I think no problems getting past there. Damien, then go. Isaac perhaps a little bit trickier.
Yeah, looking at a move down here, they can't go side by side to the kink, although he looks like he's going to try it. Somebody has to yield before the braking zone. Tom gets round. Make sure you pull it up. Very difficult to pull it up, even though it's a bit of an uphill stretch there. If you're too late on the brakes, it'll just shoot you straight off into that sand trap that's waiting. I thought Shane might even have a go here if he's close enough. Side's better of it.
Yeah, just having a look at the action at the front. Well, I just say action. Tobias up to 7.5 seconds now in front of Kurt. And Jake Burton in 3rd place, so the Powerbomb guy still doing their thing out there. Trevor Johnson is a couple seconds behind Jake, so just yeah, the front guys really spread out. Aaron Hamilton in 5th place, some 7 seconds behind Trevor as well, so it's yeah, it's quite a gap up there. Really the main action going on, as we've seen with Tom working his way back up through this pack.
Yeah, the Powerbomb cars really showing their strength lately with the absence of a lot of the ANZ or tag pest management as they are now. But yeah, definitely they must have the they're getting better with their setups and a lot more solid across the team. They've been getting some really good results and consistent lately. So
when are we looking for possible pit stop windows around here? I mean, 42 laps, quite a long. Oh, got a couple of cars going off. Someone going particularly slow.
now I knew you'd ask me this since Mr. Noble couldn't join us tonight, so I did my research. You're looking between laps 15 and 18, or between 11 and 18. I think was the latest you'd want to pit would be 18 to max out the fuel tank, and you'd be running on fumes. So
yeah, so no amount of fuel savings going to get you those extra 6 laps, I think, this week. So should see all the drivers doing 2 stops. I mean, certainly doesn't look like Tobias is trying to fuel save out there, and he's one of the ones that does do it.
yeah, he might look at possibly after the first pit stop, if he's still got a decent lead, he might try and back it off a little bit just to save some, but I don't think there's going to be a lot of difference in it due to the fact that we've got 42 laps, so you're pretty much going to have to come in for like 2 stops anyway. So yeah, just doing some quick maths. Yeah, so you get 36 laps out of 2 full tanks, so you're going to have to pit twice at least. So
Good to see the Blue Flag Racing guys have sponsor on their car now. King's Real Fencing, Mark stepped in to help those guys out, a little bit of sponsorship.
yeah, I'm liking the new livery there. Looks good. The dark with the red pinstriping. Mr. Warmington once again being Mr. Consistency after we spoke to him the last couple of weeks with a couple of good finishes. Looking to do the same again this week. He was quite chuffed last week. Oh, as he gets a big sideways out of the end of the chase there. Carrying a bit of damage, but doesn't seem to be affecting him too much.
Yeah, I think the key really for this week is to do exactly what Mark does each week, just be super consistent. You know, the race is going to come to him. I mean, he's 7th place at the moment. No, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't pick up a place or 2 at the end of this race. I mean, that's saying something for the front guys. I mean, they are particularly quick and consistent guys as well, but just never know once back markers start to come in play and things like that. A bit later on in this race, it's going to be very, very tricky for those front guys.
Yeah, definitely the stops will compress the field a bit, especially around the midsection there where they're all running within a few seconds of each other. So once that happens, then yeah, you definitely look for the leaders to start getting into a bit of traffic.
I think the stream's a little bit jumpy this week. Not much I can do, I'm afraid, about that. Bathurst particularly heavy on the graphic requirements. System's struggling just a little bit. I think it's time for a little bit of an update. I can see it on my screen, so I'm sure the guys can tuning in.
Yeah, I didn't pick a very good week to set up my first ever triple screen setup, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It's the old PC. Actually, it's doing alright at the moment, but yeah, definitely have to look at upgrading the RAM and also the GPU eventually. But still getting the pictures nice and clear. Making a few of the boys in the race team a bit jealous. Actually, they're going to come around and flog the extra monitors, I think.
Yeah, it's amazing how much of a difference the triple screen setups make, and you know, I certainly wouldn't be without mine. I'm pretty sure not only does it help with the consistency, you can find a little bit of lap time in there as well. And I mean, I remember when I first set mine up, I was doing a little bit of oval driving, and it made such a difference to my performance on the ovals as well, which is crazy because you can get that much closer to the walls, run the line that much better. So yeah, anyone who hasn't got triple screen is definitely worth giving it a go.
Yeah, definitely. I've been running the truck series as my main oval series this year, just getting my C class, and did my first couple of races at Las Vegas today. And yeah, the triple screens, like when a car's running next to you, before it had come out of your rear view mirror, and then you lost sight of him for a while until he was pretty much in front of you. But now you actually see him past the window, and you don't move across on him, and yeah, definitely get a bit better times than that. But yeah, just the field of view is a bit harder to get different because you can see a lot more, so your eyes have a lot more to cover.
Yeah, I think this is what will make like the Oculus Rift particularly good as well. So you can naturally just look around and see where everybody is. That's certainly going to be exciting times. We'll get the final version of that out.
Yeah, I've seen some YouTube videos on that technology. Looks really good.
Looks like Jake's closing in a little bit on Kurt ahead of him, so perhaps perhaps the Daco boys will be having a little bit of a fight in a moment.
Yeah, he has closed that gap considerably now.
Yeah, 1.3 seconds. I'm wondering perhaps if Kurt's got a little bit of damage or something like that. We didn't see anything.
Yeah, the car looked pretty straight, so he may have had a bit of a moment. I see a few of the boys are getting a bit loose as the tyres start to go off now. Being lap 11, their fuel loads get nice and light.
I mean, Kurt lost 1 second to Jake that lap, just gone. But amazingly, they both lost 1.5 seconds to Tobias ahead of them as well. So Tobias got some sort of phenomenal pace out there at the moment. Doesn't need to lap that fast.
Better get the stewards onto that car after the race, I think. Just check it over.
Got Mark Warmington in the pits. I wonder what's gone on there with Mark.
Well, he was running 8th. In lap 11, it's right on the earliest you'd really want to pit. But being that you're going to have 2 stops, it won't make a lot of difference. As in, you know, he'll be able to top up and finish the race on his 2nd stop. But it is quite early.
Yeah, I can't see any notifications from race control that he's had an off track or anything else like that, or contact. So.
No? Let's see, he might just needed some clear track possibly. Might have just been fielded, might have been held up by somebody, or just want some of that clean air. Sometimes it's good just to get out there and do some solo laps. Just helps with the concentration as well. He does have a little bit of damage on the left side, but only minor scrapes.
Tom Jones really starting to put the pressure on. I think this is Brenton, is it, in front of him now? So we've seen Brenton's connection just a little bit shaky so far today, so Tom will have to be a little bit careful getting through here.
Yeah, Brenton up in front there.
I think Tom just wanted to have a bit of an exciting race today, that's all it was. He decided that he was going to pit in, work his way back through the pack. Oh,
Yeah,
squeezes Brenton there.
Old teammates, these two. Oh, he cut the track. Oh, he's a touch contact there.
No love lost there then.
Brenton apologising over the driver chat there. So the old teammates, they don't worry each other too much.
Yeah, it didn't look like it caused any damage. It was only just the minorest of touches there. Barely unsettled the car. I
Yeah,
say
sounds
that,
like they
but
haven't
probably
done
on board it would probably a whole lot different.
Well, Brenton's apologised for the contact. Tom's apologised for running him wide, and then they're just having a laugh. So
Yeah.
nothing too serious.
Yeah, so Tom up to 9th place now. We've got 3.3 seconds up the road is Shane Brook in 8th place, so just having a look at his lap times as well. Yeah, I think once he gets up to sort of the 8th, getting up to people like Jamie and Will is going to be particularly difficult for him. He's they're lapping at a reasonable pace as well. Still a long way to go.
Yeah, Tom with a 2:12 last lap, so he just got held up a bit by a few of those cars that he was passing. So the other boys in the 2:11 halves roughly. So.
Let's just jump on board with our leader for a lap as he's rounding turn 2. Still flying out there, last lap. Again, nearly 2 seconds faster than the guys chasing him, so.
Yeah, he has some ridiculous speed at the moment. And the worst thing is, I jump on board with him and I listen to the engine notes and everything. I think, man, I'm braking just the same as he is and stuff, but why am I like 4 seconds slower? I just can't see where he makes up all the time. Coming out of Forest Elbow now, you've got to get a really good run. This sets up good time with the wind behind you today with the weather. The boys are finding a lot of extra speed down this front straight, main straight. Flat out through here just on the limiter as you hit the kink.
Yeah, you can see how early he has to brake there as well, literally straight away after the kink.
Yeah, your braking marker is almost pretty much the ridge of that hill, and you want to start getting on the anchors because much later than that, then you're going to be locking them up, and there's no way you can make that corner because it's actually deceivingly sharp. Even in real life, I've nearly run my my daily car off that corner and I was only doing about 70k through there, so definitely a lot more deceiving.
Yeah, there's a lap on board with Tobias, absolutely full of confidence out there as well.
Just saw in front of him Damien Magonchi just coming into shot down that first straight there, so don't know if he'll catch him before pit stops. He's on lap 14 now, so but I mean the pace he's going at, wouldn't surprise me if he does. Looks like we've had another disconnection. Scott Goodman has left the server, so don't know what happened there.
Yeah, I don't think Scott started the race looking at the standing sheet, so I might have been wrong.
Well, it looks like Arnav Kua has had an accident with Brenton O'Brien. I don't know what's going on, but he's got a bit of damage, and Brenton is crabbing, so I'm not sure what happened there.
Yeah, Brenton needs to get himself back in the pits. See if we can find what went on there. Well, we've got the aftermath. Let's have a quick.
Yeah, just looking back now, it came through the chicane under the bridge, and Arnold's looked for a dive up the inside, but just hasn't been able to pull the car up, and a little bit of a net code, but I mean he's just bumped the curb and it just sent him straight into the side of Brendan's car there. It's very unfortunate.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Brenton, he's gone past the pit entry, so
yeah, that's definitely going to be a handful trying to get that round the top of the mountain.
yeah, he's still there, and it looks like Arnoff's waiting behind him though, so good sportsmanship from Arnoff there. Not trying to get past. Realised he was at fault perhaps there, and he's just going to sit behind Brenton until they get to the pits.
Yeah, he's got his teammate coming up now. Mark Wallington's coming up to these guys, so this is going to be a bit interesting. No chat on the driver radio as of such, so I mean, it's going to be pretty hard for Brenton to get out of the way with that car. He doesn't have a lot of control over it.
Yeah, I'm just looking at Brenton now. I mean, he's looking at probably a 60 or 70 degree angle on his steering wheel just to keep that car tracking straight, so yeah, definitely struggling. Looks like it turned left pretty well.
Yeah, I was going to say he's doing a good job around that section. He's all left-handers. This will be the hardest part, coming through the cutting here. Sorry, through the dipper. Oh yeah, negotiated alright.
Yeah, so Brenton into the pits then. Should get himself a fast repair. He hasn't pitted as of yet, so he'll take on fuel, tyres, everything all at the same time, which would be his usual stop. Tom Jones into the pits as well. He's down and away. Looks like Tom's down to 11th place, so he's only lost a few places. Everybody around him will have to pit. Yeah, let's just stay with Brenton and make sure he gets himself a new ride. It's quite a long stop so far, 20-odd 6 seconds. Yeah, that's about the same as everybody else, yeah.
Yeah, he would have got his fast repair / tow done, so.
Yeah. Comes out right around the leaders. Well, I say Tobias.
Yeah, Tobias in the middle of the couple of cars there, but he'll be looking to pit soon, although lap 15, so knowing Tobias though, with the way he can stretch out fuel, he might look to try and take this first stop as long as he can.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if he does try and push it beyond lap 18. Just check in with the rest of the action, see what else has gone on. Kurt Stenberg pitted last lap by. His teammates just coming in as well, so this could be quite close as they come around. Kurt just come around the final corner now. Jake still in his pit box, not going. You can just hear Jake just revving up now. This is going to be particularly close on the exit, I think. I think he might actually have him. Indeed. So Jake moves up ahead of his teammate. Yeah, just looking at the pit stop times, 25.9 for Jake and 28.6 for Kurt. So you can see where he lost all the time.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't actually done any pit stops for this this week's race, so I don't know how long the average time would be to take a full tank. So, but that is a big difference, 3 seconds.
Got just a few drivers out there now that haven't pitted. Our leader, Will Dodd and Jamie Peters. Those guys doing a good job, now sat in 2nd and 3rd place.
Yeah, being such a long track, your in lap and your out lap is critical in this track. Otherwise, you can give up a lot of time travelling through pit lane and possibly give up a few spots at the same time.
Yeah, the rest of the guys just starting to pit now. Tobias finding himself right in amongst them. This is where he perhaps just needs to back it off a fraction and just give the guys around him a little bit of time.
Yeah, Will Dodd and Jamie Peters both pitted at the same time from the KRF stable.
Let's have a look out, see if there's any change. Again, it's a long stop for both these guys, but yeah, Will's perhaps. Wow, look at that! Just looking at it now, some 4 seconds difference in stops there. So quite a bit of extra fuel looks like it's gone on board on Jamie's car. Guys have come out in 8th and 9th place. I say they'll be pretty happy with their position at the moment. Mark Warmington finds himself in 7th. But interestingly, he's come out right behind Isaac. Isaac hasn't pitted yet, so that'll get him back up to 6th place. Tom Jones now in 10th after the pits.
Yeah, and Tobias is in pit lane now.
Yeah, so pretty much he called it on lap 18. So he's going to go for 2 long stop stints, I guess, and 1 super short one.
Yeah, pretty much be a splash and dash on the shorter one of the 2. Possibly if he's looking after his tyres, he might not even have to take tyres, it might just be a quick fuel stop. So, but I mean, if your lead's big enough, it'd be silly probably not to take some new tyres just to make sure.
Yeah, one of the slowest stops we've had out there from Tobias, but the guys out there have got no reason to rush, make any mistakes. But yeah, Mark Warmington starting to put the pressure on Isaac. Isaac must be due in this time, I would believe. He's going to just inherit that place. Does look like he's sticking over to the left. Yeah, it does. In he comes. Got a Will Dodd just behind Mark. Will's tyres will be quite a bit fresher. Obviously, Mark jumped into the pits. What was it, about lap 13, 14, something like that? So
yeah, it was pretty early.
yeah, it was quite a short stop as well, 21 seconds compared to some of the other guys, so we can see how he's made this jump up. Yeah, Isaac still in the pits. Looks like he's going to fall down to perhaps. He might just keep it in 11th place. Does indeed.
Yeah, the field once again just spreading out a bit once all the pit stops have cycled through.
Right, sorry about that, I'm back. Everything stops for the postman.
Ah, anything good?
I don't know, I didn't open it.
You can always tell if they're bills.
Oh, it's a box, so might be good.
Oh, that's alright.
Parcel's always good normally.
Normally, especially if you know you've ordered some computer parts or 2 extra monitors or something like that.
Oh, Mark, just getting particularly out of shape. It's gonna give Will a bit of confidence to perhaps put a bit of extra pressure on him, especially going through the mountain.
A lot of pace coming out of the corner. He's got a really good exit speed on this car. You have a nice draft, although the wind's against them up this straight this week, so the boys have been complaining that they're feels a bit sluggish going up the mountain, but a lot quicker coming down.
Yeah, how's the car get affected with the headwinds? You know, is it a case? Does it make a big difference when you're in the draft, or are you? Is it a case if you pull out the draft expecting to be able to blow past, and then all of a sudden you get hit by the wind and it just slows you down?
Yeah, on that straight, I'm noticing in practice that it's like that. Like if you're drafting someone, even if you pull out to go inside and you think, oh, I'll go around and brake late, and all of a sudden the wind just holds the car up. But on the back straight, with the relative numbers up, you can definitely notice a difference in wind speed, like pushing you along. So that's why we'll see a lot of moves going down through the kink there down the back straight.
Mark kissing a lot of walls there. Definitely seems like he's under a bit of pressure. Oh, it was nothing terribly exciting, just a modem for a customer. You got me intrigued, I had to go and open it.
Oh, a bit of dust down there at the end of the chase coming through the S's, so looks like someone might have had an off there as Mark and Will come through.
Yeah, approaching halfway distance here. ARL-Tv V8 Supercar Series, round 5 from Bathurst. Alex Simpson, Luke Emerton here calling the action. Tobias Cherney leading the way from his teammates Jake Burton and Kurt Stenberg. Trevor Johnson looks like he's had a moment down in 17th. We've missed that. We'll try and pick that back up, get you a replay.
Yeah, just having a look back now.
Oh, I hit the wall hard going up the mountain there.
Yeah, coming
lap
round to
19.
Skyline.
Oh yeah, big moment. Just got himself on that curb, out of shape. He ends up running running the length of the of the wall there. Yeah, he's not getting that back in anytime soon, so decides to take a tow back to the pits.
Yeah, that curve
And actually
there
just
is,
caught Tobias having an off track there as well. So just at the end of that replay, switched over to Tobias, and he was running over the grass as well. So he's not having it all his own way out there either. Sorry, Luke, interrupted you.
No, you're right. I was just about to say that curb on that outside coming around that big left sweeper there. That's can catch you by surprise. It's actually quite a I don't know, how do you call it, sudden kind of jolt on the car. If you hit that curb the wrong way, it can throw the car straight into that wall on the left side. I've hit it a few times in practice, just trying to push the car a bit harder and run it up over it, and it doesn't like it at all. It'll almost hit it like a square gutter and just throw you left. So
I mentioned at the start of the race, well, not exactly the start, but a few laps in, that Mark Warmington could have a good chance for a top 5 if he drives consistently. He's up to 5th place. So Aaron Hamilton in 4th. I think Aaron will be happy with that. So will the Lenovo guys. Just goes to show, you know, as we've been saying all race long, you don't have to be the fastest guy out here to win, you know, or to finish well, shall we say. Because the fastest guy out there is leading. Let's hope we don't curse him, smash it into the wall somewhere.
yeah, I got mine out of the way last week with Jamie, so I apologise to him for that one last week. But yeah, Aaron Hamilton has been running pretty much a lonely race in 4 all race, and just being consistent.
Yeah, qualified well, didn't he? Sixth place, so looked like he might have got a top 5, but Tom just picked him to it. So maybe that's the only person he's got to keep an eye on, is Tom. That said, Tom's had a moment as well, I think. Let's have a quick look, see what we can find there.
Oh, he just disappeared off the screen. Oh no, now he's back now.
We had a little spin on lap 20. Yeah, it didn't really cost him much, did he? No, he stayed out. He stayed out as well. So perhaps that was just some connection issues that saw him dropping down. I'm not sure there. It's a tough one. But he did have a little moment.
Pretty much watched his whole lap 20, and yeah, he had. Oh yeah, he's had almost a drift through the chicane after the main straight, but that's it. So.
Yeah, I was going to say those guys perhaps going to have to keep an eye out for him, Aaron and Mark, but yeah, he's not on track now, so definitely some sort of connection issues there, causing Tom some hassle again.
Yeah, he started lap 21 and then disappeared pretty much just under the start-finish straight. So.
Yeah, it's a few times this season we've seen him struggle with internet connection, so. What we have got is we've got Trevor Johnson in the ready for interview channel, so we'll just drag him up, have a quick word with him. Trevor, we saw your moment at the top of the mountain, mate. Just explain it for us.
Yeah, haven't really done any kind of driving on air since Watkins Glen because I've been a bit ill, so I decided to come back for this week, but haven't done more than about 20 laps of practice all week. Threw a setup on it, and it wasn't as developed as it should have been, let's say, and tyres were going away, and I was getting cramp in my leg and all sorts, so I decided to pull it off.
Yeah, sorry to hear you've been unwell, but glad to see you getting back in shape. Tricky track, this one. I mean, the practice that you need to put in here, I think probably is more important than anywhere else on the calendar, I'd have to say. What's your thoughts for the rest of the race out there? I mean, we see a lot of drivers having little moments now that it's getting a little bit longer. Can we expect more retirements?
A few of them might sort of brush the wall here and there as the race goes on, but as long as it's not if you hit the wall at a critical angle in this car, then it's pretty much game over. You can sideswipe it with the side of the car sort of flat onto a wall, but if you any kind of angle you're going to damage your suspension, and that's pretty much it. So that, most of them will keep it on the track, I reckon.
So where are we at next week, Trevor? I know you're going to be fully fighting fit.
We are at Mid-Ohio next week.
Oh, it's been a while actually, I think, since I've seen anything at Mid-Ohio. So short track, very undulaty again. So couple of overtaking spots, but you've got to get the exits of the previous corner right, going into those into the hairpin and then into that right-hander before the uphill section.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think I raced
sorry,
there.
Luke.
No, you're right, mate. I was just going to say I've never raced there, and I think I've had iRacing for 12 months and never driven a V8 around there. So.
We used to run it way back in 2011, 12. 2012 was probably the last time we ran there officially. It'll be interesting to go back.
Yeah, that's one thing we do see a lot. Obviously, new tracks come in and series move on. Some of the older ones just get left alone a little bit. So yeah, it'd be good to revisit some of the older circuits again. Well, unlucky today, buddy. But yeah, get completely well soon, and we'll see you next week at Mid-Ohio.
Yep, should be a better performance next week. Hopefully I'll be able to get in the rig and do a bit more practice and conditioning.
Good. It's like what we like to hear, mate. Thanks a lot. See you then.
Cheers, guys.
ANZ's Trevor Johnson there, or ANZ, depending on where you are in the world. I'll translate it for you.
I was just going to say, while that interview was going on, just been watching Tobias the last few laps, and a couple of laps ago he tapped the wall coming through McPhillamy, so definitely he's pushing it, and he's getting a bit tired out there, so he's lucky not to get a meatball. It actually looked like he hit the wall pretty hard. So.
Yeah, and he gone off earlier as well. I mean, lap times I've come down, he's doing... Oh, well... He's still going out there pretty quickly looking at that.
I was going to say, it's still a couple of seconds quicker than what I can get round here. So.
Yeah, it has slowed him up just a little bit though, so perhaps he is carrying just a little bit of damage. It's all about his teammates at the moment though, they're the ones fighting out there.
Yeah, that gap really closing in within a car length now, so... Jake Burton and Kurt Stenberg there, 2 powerbomb cars.
It's interesting how that worked, because obviously we had Jake closing in on Kurt a lot earlier on in this race, but now the roles are reversed. It just goes to show it's a lot easier to follow somebody than it is to lead, and you're having to look behind, check what's going on. You're not focused on a track ahead of you. Don't half make a difference to the lap time.
Yeah, there's always that doubt in your mind when you're leading and you're not sure if the guy's going to take a dive up the inside, or is he going to be able to pull the car up in time. As Jake gives it a wiggle coming up through here.
Yeah, camera's going just a little bit nuts following these guys. Not sure who it's going to focus on, so apologies for that. But yeah, I think Kurt might have a little chance at a run this time.
Yeah, just looking at the gearbox of Jake here, just to see how much this draft's going to make effect, along with the wind behind him, and got a really good run on him, but still I don't think he's going to be close enough coming into the braking zone.
Yeah, one thing when it's your teammate ahead of you, you're always just a little bit more cautious as well. You're not going to do anything crazy. Yeah, these guys are actually lapping at exactly the same time as Tobias now, so just goes to show that that little graze, well, I say graze. That clunk of the wall that Tobias had has slowed him up a bit. 1 second a lap that he was pulling away. And reduced to nothing, so...
Oh, Jake really pushing it to try and keep ahead here.
Yeah, looks like Mark Warmington's in for his second stop. And actually Tobias has pitted as well, so I'm guessing Tobias has picked up some damage. And he decided it's perhaps better for him to come into the pits now, get it fixed, rather than try and struggle out there with a car that might end up going into the wall in a bit more of a severe way. Should still be able to make it from here. Kurt's still not close enough to make the move there on his teammate, and that will be for the lead now as well as these guys continue on.
Oh, big slide there. Both boys really pushing hard to hit their places.
Yeah, Tobias Cherney just has a little move on Aaron Hamilton, moves himself back up to third place. It looks like Tobias might be in a little bit of bother here, because clearly when he had his first pit stop there was some repairs that went on the car that perhaps he didn't know about. So the front right, his Ford Falcon, does not look in the best of shape. He's just going to have to march on with it. Did have quite a buffer, and he is still lapping fast enough even with the damage. So with that early stop, might just hurt him. The guys might have a little run at him towards the end of the race. Whether they'll catch him or not, we don't know.
Yeah, he's got Hamilton fairly close to him at the moment, so...
Yeah, he's still lapping considerably quicker than Hamilton. I mean, he only made that move going into the S's and he's already starting to pull away, so we know that Hamilton's still got his second stop to make. I think Tobias basically just he thought perhaps he hadn't got any damage before, so come in early, get his car fixed, but yeah, a little shocker and nothing happening.
Yeah, he's just coming up to the back of Damien and Nils here, as those two are battling it out for 13th and 12th.
Yeah, Tobias just needs to take his time through here, see how quickly he closed up through that section.
Yeah, it's hard in these situations for the slower cars. You've got your own battle, you know, but you know the leader's coming up behind you and you don't want to lose time on the guy in front. So
Yeah, Damien does a good job there as well. It's like Niels moves out the way.
Sacrificed a lot of track position there on Nils to allow those two to go through.
Just to try and stay on the back of Aaron close as he can. Aaron jumps in the pits, not what he wanted. He wanted at least Aaron to slow up Niels as well. But yeah, look at that. He's probably lost 2 or 3 seconds there of letting the leaders go. So he'll be a little bit gutted.
Yes, Tobias goes round, Jake Burton in the pits. Also Aaron Hamilton into the pits and Will Dodd.
Yeah, Jake pitted a couple laps before Kurt, I think, last time, didn't he? So
Yeah, I think they staggered their pits a bit there. Will Dodd in pits in 5th and Aaron Hamilton in 4th behind him, or in front of him actually in the pit stall. As Hamilton's away, and I don't know who that is, one of the Aloha KRF cars going past. So Aaron's got out in front of Jamie Peters. I'm not sure if Jamie's pitted yet or not.
yeah,
And,
still the one
Will
stop
Dodd
for
behind him.
Jamie.
Jamie's got a bit of damage on that rear wing too. Looks like it's had a bit of a rub against one of the walls.
Yeah, I'm
And,
guessing Jamie will
Kurt's
be in
down
this time. Sorry, Luke.
You're right.
I was saying, I guess Jamie will be in this time. I think he pitted with Will last time, didn't they? They come in exactly the same time. So Will's had his stop last lap. So guessing Jamie will be in this one.
Yeah, and yeah, Kurt Stamberg in the pits as Tobias just goes round Hill Corner. So he'll take back the lead.
Yeah, definitely definitely Jake's caught up Tobias quite a lot. I mean, he's only 8 seconds behind, so 4 seconds in that pit stop he's closed up. So it's a straight on run to the end now, and if Tobias is carrying a little bit of damage, I mean, he's certainly not lapping anywhere near as quick as he was. He's definitely about 1.5, maybe even 2 seconds slower. So 2:10 last time by, as Jake just skims the wall. Should be alright there though.
Yeah, he's actually got a nice little gap there back to his teammate Kurt. So
Yeah, Kurt's stop today has certainly let him down. That's another 2 seconds that he was slower that time by.
oh, Jake has a big moment coming up through Skyline, almost into the wall.
Yeah, I think I was just focused on Kurt then. I think we saw the dust that was all kicked up through that.
Yeah, the same ripple strip that claimed Trevor Johnson before. He hit the same thing and all 4 wheels off.
Perhaps just sees his teammate just a little bit further up the road, or a little bit closer than normal. I'm guessing they'll be on TeamSpeak, and you'll know that Tobias has got perhaps a fraction of damage. Mark Warmington in 7th at the moment. It looks like I think, did Will, or I'm not 100% sure, I think Will already had him, didn't he? So, actually I don't think he did, so yeah, looks like with the pit stops, Will's got back in front of Mark. There's about 3 seconds separating them.
Yeah, I think Will got within a second or so of Mark, and he's obviously made a lot of time up in his pit stop.
Yeah, Jamie continues on for another one. He's only had the one stop so far. Oh, struggling there into final corner.
Yeah, I don't know if you're seeing it, but he's got that slight damage on the left side of that rear wing, but could just be my graphics, I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, definitely. Same area, so struggling out there. Yeah, I think this gap at this battle between Will and Mark is going to hot up a little bit. We've got Jamie just in front, but I'm sure Jamie's going to be due into the pits anytime soon.
Yeah, well, they can make it to 36, so...
Yeah, drivers that haven't pitted in a second time, Jamie Peters, Isaac and Renz as well. So yeah, all three of those guys went particularly long in the first stint, so opting to do the same again. Just to give you guys a bit of a shout out, up next we've got the Sim Racers Asia GT Series. It's Montreal this week, so a pretty exciting Watkins Glen race. Bit of chaos at the start, so I'm sure the admins will be looking into that and looking for a much cleaner start. Perhaps not the best track to ask for it.
maybe the cut tracks there might slow everyone down a bit.
But yeah, always an exciting race to watch. So it's in the rough track and the McLaren MP412C. So fancy a bit of GT3 action. Stay tuned. I think it's 12:40 GMT. So it's about half hour after this one finishes.
Yeah, so about 11:30 midnight for all you Australian viewers out there.
Yeah, Kurt closing in on Jake quite quickly. After the pit stops, what was a 3-second gap is already down to 1.9. Couple of shaky laps, I think, for Jake there, just looking at the times.
Yeah, the big moment coming up the top of Skyline there might have shaken him up a bit. Jake with a 2:10 last lap and Kurt with a 2:09, so he made about just over half a second on him that last lap.
Oh, just switched to Will Dodd, who is absolutely smashing into the wall, top of the mountain. Oh, just before he starts to come down, yeah, that car looks like it's got some serious damage, and he moves over and lets Mark Warmington through. Knows that he's going to struggle out there now for the rest of the day. Just see what he decides to do. Pretty sure he's already had some repairs done on that car, so could be rather lengthy pit stop coming up for him.
Oh yeah, he tapped the wall in the braking zone at the top of Skyline as you start coming down the hill, and it just sent the car into the right hand wall, and pretty much he pinballed it down through the dipper there, so it's very unfortunate. He was running well there in 6th place, I think he was in, or 5th.
Yeah, and the car's crabbing like mad as well. You can see that just as he was coming into the pits. So just looks like he squashed the car together there.
Yeah.
So, let's see what that does, but we could be looking at probably Isaac jumping him as well. Maybe even Shane. Certainly Jamie's still out there as well, so he hasn't got to worry about Wheel anymore. Gonna have a little bit of a different top 10, I think. Perhaps the first 3 were quite predictable, but yeah, some different drivers gonna pick up some big points this week.
It looks like Will's disconnected, mate, so his race is done for the day. Looks like too much damage for the mechanics to repair there, which is really unfortunate with only 12 or so laps to go.
Will leaves TeamSpeak as well, so yeah, perhaps a little bit gutted with himself for that one.
Yeah. It's always frustrating to get that far into a race, you know, we're over nearly an hour and 15 minutes into it, and you know, just one tiny mistake and it's pretty much finished his whole race. So yeah, very frustrating when you work that hard to get a good position and then throw it away. But he'll be back next week for sure. I was speaking to him earlier today. He's really looking forward to actually having a race tonight, so not the ending he would be hoping for.
Just take a quick look at the order at the moment. Tobias Cherney leading out there. It's pretty much led start to finish. He's 11.6 seconds ahead of his teammate Jake Burton. Kurt Stenberg is closing in just 0.06 of a second behind. Aaron Hamilton is in a race on his own out there. Jamie Peters still yet to pit for a second time in 5th place. Mark Warmington in 6th. Isaac De Figueiredo is in 7th. Shane Brook is 8th. Brendan O'Brien, he's had a bit of an eventful race actually, with people around him pretty much all race. He's on his own at the moment, mind you, in 9th place, and 10th place is Arnoff Kuller. Arnoff's first driver a lap down as well, so let's just have a look at this battle once again for 2nd place. 10 laps to go. Looks like these guys are going to be at it for the rest of the race.
Yeah, it's been a good battle all race. There was a little bit of gap mid-race, but again the pit stop seemed to compress these two.
Oh, Kurt just tagging the wall there as he come out of elbow corner.
Yep, Forest elbow down there. That'll hurt his run up the main straight for sure. They come out under the Fuso bridge.
Yeah, car still looks okay though, so no damage off of that, which was quite fortunate.
Closes right up under brakes. I've got 3 screens full of Stenny at the moment.
Yeah, I thought for a minute there he was going to just tag his teammate, but just gets it stopped in time.
Yeah, he seems to be a lot later on the brakes, so
yeah, just showing his nose a little bit as well. Oh, perhaps Jake just paid a little bit too much attention to it. If there's ever a run, it's going to be now.
Oh, he's all over him.
If anything, he gave his teammate a little bit of a push going up the hill there.
Yeah, the gearbox camera there nearly getting knocked off the back of his car. He did well to recover that, but he's got some good straight line speed in that Seiko Falcon up front in Jake's.
Yeah, all the time this is going on, Tobias pulling away up front. That gap back up to, well, nearly 12 seconds again. Still not lapping that quickly out there. 1 minute 11 last time by, so...
Yeah, he's lost a second on these two boys that are chasing him. With, where are we at now? 34, so not many laps to go.
Yeah, had Kurt not been behind Jake, I think Jake might have had a chance at closing in on Tobias, but he's just far more interested in what's going on behind him than in front of him at the moment. And who can blame him? Kurt having another little look, poking his nose out. We saw what happened last lap when he did that.
Yeah, Jake with a much better run off the hill corner that time.
Yeah, it's always tricky for the teammates to get a move done as well. Running basically the same setup, so the advantages and disadvantages of both cars are negated. So it's all down to driver ability out there. Just getting quite long into this race as well, so fatigue might start to come into it. It's quite mentally straining. Is Bathurst, 42 laps of it as well. You can see the guys are having to basically feed the car through a couple of walls through the top of this mountain. Saw what happened with both Trevor Johnson and Will Dodd. If you get it wrong, you only need to be a foot out.
Yeah, definitely no room for error in there. It's concrete walls or concrete walls.
Yeah, looks like a much better mountaintop run there for Jake. Pulled a little bit away from Kurt. Gap up to about a second, so breathe easy going down back straight. We saw how much Kurt closed up though the last few laps into these braking zones. Not so much this time. Yep, sorry for not tuning into much else. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll have a little look at this battle going on for 12th place between Niels and Renz?
Renz, I think I called him last week.
I'm sure he can come on and correct us. Certainly do want to get the names right.
Yeah, it's a nice close battle as well. I think these two have been pretty much fairly close most of the race.
Yeah, Ren's Blue Flag Racing, KRF sponsored car. He always drives for Redback Racing, I believe.
Sure is, yeah, Redback Racing. The two teams actually quite good friends. We've done a few little things together, so the boys at Redback are always good fun to hang around and have a few races with.
Yeah, 7 laps
Bernie, the
to go.
Team owner.
Yeah, I know those guys had some big plans for this year, but just like any other team manager out there, you've got so much on your plate with just running the team, trying to get everything done and organised, that doing anything else can be tricky to say the least. Hopefully they'll have a little rethink of the GT series that they were planning, and we'll get that up and going maybe in a couple of seasons?
Yeah, I think Bernie just ran into some real life stuff that need to be attended to, which we all can't blame him for that. So hopefully he's doing well, and if he's tuning in, big hi to him, and hopefully see him around again soon.
Yeah, so Jake closed in another second on Tobias up front. 6 laps to go. If they close in at that pace, it will be quite close at the end. And Kurt is some 5 seconds back now, so 6 seconds make that. So he's dropping seriously fast. So not sure what happened to Kurt. Just see if we can see any damage.
Yeah, not seeing any myself, but could be wrong.
I'm wondering if he just. So let's say I'm wondering if he just short field or something like that, and perhaps just having to save a little bit of fuel to get it to the end of this race. I mean, he could afford to pit in with the gap he's got over Aaron, so. But that has released Jake to start worrying about his own lap times now, and perhaps putting a bit of pressure on his teammate. I'm sure if Tobias sees him coming at over a second a lap, it's going to put a little bit of pressure on him. Maybe he'll make the odd mistake here or there, make that damage any worse, and he's going to struggle.
Yeah, well, he's almost into the 209s, Jake, which was what Tobias was doing earlier on. So if he can keep that kind of pace up while he's out running by himself, he may have a chance. But at a second a lap, he won't catch him. But as you say, if Tobias sees that and tries to push it, makes a mistake, you never know.
Yeah, you can tell Jake's giving it everything out there as well. And Kurt definitely got a problem. I mean, he's nearly 10 seconds back, so he's lost 5 seconds on this lap. So, yeah, that's quite major for him out there. Certainly not going to get caught, I don't think, by Aaron. But even that one might be quite close.
Yeah, just looking back at our leader Tobias, his car is definitely looking a little bit worse for wear on that front end. So while we've been away watching the other battles, he might have had a few more arguments with some of the concrete around here.
Yeah, only 0.6 of a second that time for Jake, so definitely a lot less than what he needs. We just hear the leader once again, just skimming the wall. It's all going to start to add up. I'm not sure if some of it isn't just a little bit of a netcode hit. We are obviously on the Aussie servers, so
yeah, Jake just got held up a little bit there by Brenton, just caught him in a really bad spot, and I had to wait till McPhillamy to get past him.
yeah, let's just check in just on some of the other drivers at the moment. Aaron Hamilton just lapping nice and consistently, 4th place. He's going to get quite close to Kurt, I can tell you, because he is about 4 and a bit seconds a lap faster, but he's not going to get close enough. Mark Warmington looks like he's got fairly sizable gap around him now. 5th place, Jamie Peters behind him in 6th. Isaac has had his pit stop and has dropped all the way down to 9th place. That leaves Shane in 7th and Brenton O'Brien in 8th place. So yeah, it just goes to show what we were saying at the start of this race. You know, survive, finish, you're going to get yourself a decent result. I think Brenton will be ecstatic with an 8th place. Let's hope we don't curse him into a crash.
Yeah, he's had a few close calls today, so he'll be just thankful we get through it without any more drama. As Nils and Reeds here have a really good battle coming down the main straight.
Yeah, they've got a couple of guys just ahead of them as well.
Yeah, the two Aloha boys. They're Jamie and Damien. Jamie running in 6th and Damien just on the bubble in 11th.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if Nils can get up towards Jamie.
Yeah, Jamie's still carrying that wing damage.
Yeah, like I say, we'll have a 3-car battle on our hands if they do.
You know what's up with that Wei Chan, just lower motor here.
Yep, looks like he's out. Yeah, Jake had a bit of a bad lap. That lap, no more pressure put on Tobias up ahead. I think he knows now that he's going to have to settle for 2nd place. Yeah, Aaron Hamilton didn't have such a great lap either, only caught up about 3 seconds. So he's certainly not going to get Kurt. Kurt can pretty much cruise around at the pace he's doing now and just survive. I still can't see any damage, so I can only assume it is fuel related. Let's just jump on board with 3rd place Kurt and just see if we can hear him lift coasting or anything anywhere. Looks like he's got some wheel damage there. He's yeah, he looks like he's holding the wheel a little bit to the left. The car looks very twitchy underneath him.
Yeah, definitely down to the left there. You picked it. We'll see it once he gets round the elbow here and heads down towards the chase.
Yeah, it's not much, but it's enough.
Yeah, I was going to say it doesn't look like much, but you try taking that at the speeds that you need to through the top of the mountain there, and it's definitely no fun at all. Yeah, he's really having to lift through there to not throw the car into a wall.
Yeah, the left-handers look like hell actually, where the right-handers are just all about understeer for him, so... Nonetheless, I think he's had a pretty excellent race out there, and that early pace is what's going to give him the podium in the end. Leader now lapped all the way up to 7th place, Shane Brook. I think Shane will survive on the lead lap just. And Niels has indeed caught up to the back of Damien, so we have got a 3-car battle for 11th, 12th and 13th. They all fly down the back straight. Damien got some front end damage.
Yeah, Damo's got some good damage on the front of that Falcon. Try and hold him off. He's got 1 lap to go, I think, now. Well, I have 2, sorry, although they're a lap down, so.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's going to be able to hold him off. It's he's got a bit of a straight line disadvantage here. This is where Neil's got a good run the last few times as well. Tucked in the slipstream. He's going to have to go the long way around. I think he'll probably get the move done before he gets there. He does indeed.
Almost touched there once he cut back in front of him. And Tobias coming around now, just around Hell Corner. I tell you what, Tobias is coasting here. I think he's run out of fuel.
I did hear him having a massive, massive lift going into turn 1. Still got drive in the motor, so I think he'll be alright, but 8 seconds Jake is behind right now. It's coming down rapidly. 7.5, 7. So he's coming fast as well.
He is really coasting. Tobias has backed this thing off. I heard him come out of the Hell Corner and it's flooded. He will be absolutely distraught if he runs out of fuel here. And it'll catch him down the back straight here for sure.
Yeah, 5 seconds now. Oh, there it goes as well.
On board with Jake.
Yeah, he's absolutely run out as well, Tobias.
Oh, he's just going to hand Jake the win here. Although I think Jake might be struggling for fuel too. He had a bit of a misfire there halfway down the straight. Yeah, he is too. Jake's almost out of fuel, I think. Oh, there's going to be snail's pace to the finish. Jake is out of fuel. Oh. I think he's going to let Tobias win this.
I think you're right.
Yeah, they cross the line 1-2 and I reckon they are both completely dry.
Yeah, that's good sportsmanship from Jake there. I think he could have had it if he wanted it.
Yeah, I reckon there was a bit of multi 31 or whatever it is there.
Oh yeah, there we go. Look, as he gives it a whole load of revs. So Jake definitely had the fuel left in it.
Yeah, there's Stenny coming up. They're probably having a good laugh about how much fuel they didn't have left. So a power bomb 1, 2, 3 there.
Yeah, they'll be ecstatic with that, I can tell you.
Doing a little formation lap with a little fuel they got left.
Yeah, Aaron Hamilton comes across for 4th place. Mark Warmington not quite there yet, but will be any moment. Just see him in the background. Yeah, well done to those guys. They'll be ecstatic with that. Great team performance.
Yeah. Yeah, Jamie Peters just coming around now, around the final corner. for his 6th place.
Yeah, good drive by Jamie actually. Again, just goes to show keeping yourself out of trouble can get you some really good points. Brenton O'Brien in 9th. Isaac actually pipped Brenton, so got 8th.
Yeah, good drive by Nils there in 11th. Brooksy got 7th there.
Yeah, even Tobias looks like he's got some fuel going, so I wonder if he actually slowed down and waited for his teammates, because they're all having a bit of fun out there now. Perhaps just giving us a little bit of excitement in the comms box at the end there. Not quite sure how long these things can splutter for, but
Normally not that long.
yeah,
I think they might have been pulling our leg there.
we'll have them for that later. Right, just to take us through the final standings then, Tobias Change does indeed take the victory here at Mount Panorama, commonly known as Bathurst. Fantastic race from him, absolutely dominant. Jake Burton, strong 2nd place, under pressure a long time from Kurt Stenberg, who hit the wall hard, had quite a bit of damage in that Falcon, but brings it home for a 1-2-3 for the team. Aaron Hamilton in 4th, Mark Warmington takes 5th place. I thank you, I called that one. Jamie Peterson in 6th, Shane Brook in 7th, Brenton O'Brien, we're actually showing 8th, but I'm pretty sure he was 9th looking at the final standings, but I might be wrong. Yeah, I don't know if you can confirm that.
Mine shows 8th.
So Brenton, yeah, Brenton 8th, then we'll go with that. Isaac in 9th, Arnold Kuller is in 10th. Neil's got 11th. Renz did get past Damo as well, so that straight line speed disadvantage cost him, putting him down in 13th place. Weehan Chan with his blown motor in 14th. Will Dodd, obviously we saw what happened there. A little bit of a pinball ride through the top of the mountain, down through the dipper. Tom Jones disconnected in 16th. Shane Best, not quite sure what happened to Shane in 17th. He was running quite strong at one point. 18th was Trevor Johnson. We saw what happened with Trevor, just getting loose over that curb, hit the wall hard, race over. Not feeling too well, but should be back and strong for next week. And Jamie Eaton, not sure what happened to Jamie, but retired quite early on in the race. I have to say, Luke, pretty decent race out there today, and we're gonna have a little bit of a jump. Hey,
yeah,
and lands it sweetly as well.
Done well,
considering that car was crabbing.
And a 360 into the pits to finish off.
Right, we're going to go for a quick commercial break, and we will be back with some interviews.
Take your hobby to the next level with a quality racing rig that works great with a PS3, Xbox 360, and a PC. GT Omega Racing Simulator is compatible with a wide range of steering wheels, including Logitech, Fanatic, Thrustmaster, and more. The GT Omega is available now worldwide by going to www.gtomegaracing.com.
Welcome back to ARL-TV. Alex Simpson, Luke Emerton here for the after show. We've got a couple of drivers just popped in for a quick interview, so we'll get them up. We'll start off with today's race victor, Tobias Cherney. Good afternoon, Tobias. Congratulations, mate, on another victory. I think you had us all fooled at the end. We thought you'd run out of fuel, but it looks like you were just waiting for your teammates.
Hello, guys. Yeah, Jake was, I wanted to do a photo finish and also Stanny, but Stanny had then too much damage and fell back a little bit. So I was just experimenting how much fuel I can save to do. Also have some fuel for the celebration lap afterwards and stuff. And yeah, great turnout for us guys here. 1, 2, 3 finish. Yeah, really awesome for Powerbond.
Yeah, I mean, just tell us about the whole race. I mean, to start off with, you were lapping quite considerably quicker. Gap went up to about 12 seconds, very fast. And then I think perhaps, did you get a little bit of damage in the second stint or something like that and caused you to pit just a little bit earlier than normal?
Yeah, the first stint was pretty perfect. I had awesome pace, way better than in the official series. And then I went long for the 17 laps, pitted, and yeah, I think it was lap 19 where I had a moment with Wihan Chan going to the chase, and I had to run wide to avoid him. I don't know exactly what happened. I need to have a look back. Yeah, this broke my concentration, and a few laps later I missed turn 1, and then when Trevor left the race, I made a half spin into the wall. Luckily, 0 ins, but I think a little bit of damage, and then I decided I had the plans to use my quick repair, but it was already gone when I was in the pits. So yeah, I could have gone faster in the end as well, but I just made. Yeah, we just drove it home for a safe 1, 2, 3 finish.
Yeah, I think myself and Luke picked up on the fact that you probably didn't get the repair when you pitted in, which was a little bit of a shame, but nonetheless, the car still looked quite manageable for you out there, and you were able to lap at the same sort of pace as your teammates. So just go to show them what amazing pace you had today. Obviously, you've give a quick sort of shout out to the team, but do you want to do it in a little bit more of a depth?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy that this is our first 1, 2, 3 with Powerbond Racing, Deco. The guys are doing an awesome job. Also for the official series, have been a blast for us last week at Montreal. And yeah, I'm a bit disappointed that only Trevor was here from the ANZ guys, because we had some very great battles in the first few rounds here. And yeah, I hope they come back and challenge us. Yeah, so there we can see some very nice team battles and intense battles in the end of the season.
Yeah, I think we're looking forward to that as well. What do we got up next week? And are you looking forward to it?
Next week is Mid-Ohio, and yeah, long time ago that I've been racing there with the V8. Actually, I think it's quite interesting track, and will be fun for sure.
Yeah, we were talking to Trevor about it earlier on, saying it's another tight, twisty track with lots of undulation. Couple of overtaking possibilities, but all dependent on how well you get the car set up to exit onto those straightaway sections. So it's going to be a fun race for sure.
Yeah, there are some very difficult corners where you're going over a crest. The right-hander, I think, in the middle end sector or somewhere there. Yeah, will be definitely interesting, and can't wait for it. Good to see some new tracks, not the same every season.
Indeed. Yeah, well, congratulations again on the victory. You've extended the championship at the moment. I mean, you had, just having a look, what it was, 85-point gap over your teammate before the start of this one, so you just improved that even further. So, yeah, going to plan, I would say, after the 5th round today.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy about this. Managed to get on the podium every time so far, and yeah, it's very good for me for the end of the season, so releases the pressure, and I know I'm probably not taking part in the week 11 at Okayama because I don't have the time there, but it's good to secure the points just before this drop round and come back for the finish.
Well, congratulations again, mate. We look forward to seeing you next week at Mid-Ohio. I'm not sure I will be there, but I think Luke will be in the box again, so yeah, have fun, mate.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you for broadcasting. You always do a great job, and yeah, now I'll have my dinner. Our lunch, not dinner.
Alright, cheers,
Enjoy.
mate.
Yes.
Right, I'm not gonna follow the usual trend. I'm gonna bring up someone who I thought had a pretty eventful race and will be absolutely delighted with his final result. Mr. Brenton O'Brien. Hello, sir.
Hello to you too, sir, and AC. How are you, Luke?
I have to say, what a good result for you today. You must be pretty happy with that.
Well, considering what happened to me on lap 12, I got absolutely Liberace by Arnold. Mate, yeah, I'm taking 8th. That'll be real good.
Yeah, we did catch that, and the car was crabbing like mad. He was nice enough to slow down and give you the position back and follow you for that lap until you got it in the pit. So, good bit of sportsmanship on his part there after he rogered you. But
yeah, no, he apologised straight away, and that's the type of thing that's in ARL, isn't it? Just the respect and good sportsmanship there. You have to excuse me, kids are playing a movie in the background, might be a bit loud, but no, that was probably the most hair-raising lap I've done when the car was crabbing, because I thought, got a free toe, I'm still a chance, let's just get it around.
You had a little issue with connectivity tonight as well, the car blinking around a little bit. Did that cause you any problems at all with obviously drivers disappearing on your screen at all?
Yeah, that would have been early days with Shane, about lap 3. Probably jumped out for about a good 3 or 4 seconds, and I thought, oh, I've disconnected here. But once I told one of my young fellas to stop a download, there was no problems after that at all.
Ah, good to see. So always the youngsters downloading. I don't know. But yeah, Brendan, just to sort of explain to us what the challenges of this circuit is, and especially considering this is like the second endurance event of the season as well. So
keeping it off the walls. This is probably one track where you actually get a break. Down Conrod, you can stretch your arms, shoulders, your neck, whatever. But just keep it off the walls and punch out consistent times. Like, I'm really happy I had a good setup tonight. It's probably one of the better ones I've had, which does make life a lot easier. But just throw in consistent laps, and I had a really good race with Isaac, with the undercut, and that's all it is. It's just trying to stay out of trouble.
well, he did that relatively well, to be fair, and like I say, you were forced on that early pit stop, but it actually came at a time that was good for your strategy as well. So, and you brought it home for 8th place. I'm just having a look at the championship at the moment. You're in 11th at the moment. I have to say that result, with the way things have fallen, will probably see you jump into the top 10. You must be pretty happy about that.
Oh, real happy. And unfortunately for my team, Demonov Motorsports, I'm the sole representative tonight. Ian McPherson and Lance Perkins couldn't make it, but I know that they're faster than me on this track, so it's a shame they couldn't make it, but still, 8th place is still a fairly good result for the team. Well,
congrats, Brenton. We'll see you next week at Mid-Ohio. Anybody else you want to give a quick shout out to while you're here?
Oh, Berto's Mobile Car Washing, mate. Our new teammate, Ian Ford, has just joined external of this series, and he supplied this setup probably about half hour before the race started. And just everyone at Demonov Motorsports, they do a really good job, and it's always good to feel welcome in a new team.
Congratulations, mate. See you next week.
I'll see you in about half an hour to do the Asian GTs.
Thank you.
Well done,
See
mate.
you, mate. Cheers, Luke.
Right, up next we've got the Power Bond duo of Jake Burton and Kurt Stenberg. They gave us quite a race throughout that. Congratulations, guys, you completed the 1, 2, 3 for the Power Bond team today. Jake, just take us through your race, if you would, please, mate.
Yeah, it was a very interesting race. I mean, Bathurst, it's always one of those tracks where you just got to focus and put some consistent laps down. And upon the first couple of stints, the three of us, apart from Tobias, he just took off, but Stenny and I, our goal was just to try and gap Trevor a little bit so that we've got some room to play with. And then Trevor left, so that kind of gave us a big amount of gap, and then we got together and started racing a little bit. And then unfortunately Stenny damaged his car in the last stint and couldn't race, but still exceptional racing, and Tobias had impeccable speed, and really happy to get a 1, 2, 3 for the team.
Yeah, we see that you got Kurt in the pits there. Slight differences in strategy playing off, and yeah, it's always nice to pull one over on the teammates in the pit stop strategy, I reckon.
Yeah, of course. It was a bit of an undercut, and yeah, unfortunately, Stenny had some really poor pit stops over this race. No fault of his own, as far as we know. So, kind of sucks, and I'm sure he'll let you know about that. But I had some really good pit stops, and the pit strategy just worked well for me. And yeah.
Yeah, and Kurt, just looking at your race, mate, you obviously had Jake behind you for quite a while, and it looked like you were gapping him to start off with, but he started coming back at you. But then after the pit stops, it was a bit of a switcheroo, and you were chasing down Jake. It looked like there was nothing between you guys today.
Yeah, in the first stint I actually hit the wall and I had a tiny bit of damage, and then I hit the wall again, and then I hit the wall again, so I started taking it easy and it felt a bit funny, and yeah, Jake caught back up, and yeah, I pitted and I don't know what happened because I took the same amount of fuel as Jake and we were on the same setup, and I come out and I was behind him and I chased him down, but yeah, as soon as Trevor disconnected, I said in the channel we were in, it's on. So yeah, we were going pretty hard for it, even though we're teammates. But yeah, in the last stint, I hit the wall on the inside at Forest Elbow, and it bent the steering about 30 degrees to the left. So yeah, I just didn't want to get a meatball, so tried to finish.
Yeah, we saw that on camera. It looked like it was tracking quite a bit, and looked like it was quite hairy into the left-handers and understeering in the right-handers. So you had the gap though. We were keeping an eye on Aaron, but even at some 4 seconds a lap, he was closing in. You'd done all the good work early on. So yeah, fantastic pace from you lads today, and 1, 2, 3. I think it's the first time I've seen it in the championship. So you know, congrats to you guys for that again.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for the broadcast.
We're just one last quick question. Just Mid-Ohio next week. I mean, how do you guys like the track, and do you think you can repeat this performance?
Yeah, well, oh, sorry, Stenny, you go.
You go, Jake.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sure Stenny, Tobias, and maybe even Jamie will definitely be back to show off their pace and see what they can do. But unfortunately, I'm going to the Australian Grand Prix and won't be home, so I'll be missing next week, but certainly back the week after.
I think that's a pretty valid excuse. Going to watch the Grand Prix. I think we'll let you have that one.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
And I'll be perfectly honest, I've only ever raced there in the caddy when I first got iRacing, so I've raced there in other sims, but this is my first time in iRacing in the V8, so I don't know how I'm going to go.
Should be interesting racing. I look forward to seeing you guys in that. Congrats again for today's results, and yeah, enjoy enjoy the Grand Prix, Jake, and we'll see you next week, Kurt.
Yep.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks, lads. Alright, let's do that. Let's grab Mr. Warmington up.
Morning, lads.
Hello, sir. How are you today?
Shell-shocked.
Well, I have to say, and Luke can back me up on this one, I called you for 5th place about lap 2.
Thanks. I love in the confidence. I really messed up qualifying. I was lucky, I think, to get a good start and jump Will into turn 1. And then it was just heads down and try and stay out of the walls. And there's so many around here where you can just slip up and put the steering out of whack.
Yeah, I mean, we were basically commenting and saying that, you know, the drivers that are going to do well today are the ones that are consistent and just want to, you know, will look at the race as the whole 42 laps rather than what's going on now. And that was why, you know, we picked you out and said, well, you know, you were about 7th, 8th at the time, and I said, I can see him finishing in 5th. So, you know, you did exactly that. You just kept yourself out of trouble, and guys slowly made mistakes ahead of you that perhaps pushing a little bit too hard, and just goes to show what, you know, consistency can do on this circuit.
Well, it's like I was doing okay first stint, and from the very beginning I decided I was going to do the short stint first. So pit after 10 laps and then try and get the undercut. And then, knowing my luck, it keeps happening all this season. I came out and just tripped over someone. So I think Brenton had a bit of a coming together with one of my teammates, and I had to follow them for about half a lap and lost 5 seconds. So that careful, keep your head down went out the window, and I started punishing the tyres. So I managed to lap faster than I qualified and then cook the rears, and then managed to confuse myself as well, because on the second stop, Will beat me, and Jamie was in front of me as well, and I thought, well, how the hell did I lose 2 places and end up back in 7th, 8th? And then Jamie pitted, which made sense, and then Will had a moment coming down the mountain, which was a damn shame, because it seems to be my nemesis so far this season.
Yeah, we were keeping an eye on that battle. Actually, it looked like it was gonna hot up at one point, but yeah, I just think that was just the way of things today. A lot of drivers making little mistakes and things like that, and yeah, brought home a really good 5th place in the Blue Flag Racing, sponsored by Kimmy's Raw Fencing, I'm glad to say. So nice to see the new liveries out there looking rather tasty.
Well, we thought we'd put some new clothes on and dress up since we were coming to Bathurst.
But next week, Mid-Ohio, it's a different one.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I love it in other cars. I don't think I've ever driven it. No, I lie. I think I've driven it once or twice in the V8. It's got a lot of areas where it can just spit you off the track, so that should be really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I've drove in a few cars as well, so all the way from sort of single seaters to the tin tops as well, and it's always quite a challenging track, and time just sort of comes to you as you get more used to the lines, because obviously everything feeds into everything else, doesn't it? Once you sort of go into that uphill section, it's all about compromising one corner to get a better next, and so on and so forth. And so yeah, it's going to be an interesting race out there. That last couple of corners is always quite tricky as well. I wouldn't be too surprised if we don't see some drivers try and slip it up the inside into that last sort of snail corner. It's going to come back on itself. It's going to be, I think it's going to be a really, really exciting race.
Yeah, me too. I think it should be a good one. Nice and tight.
Well, congrats again today, mate. Anyone else you want to give a quick shout out to while you're here?
I think, well, my teammates definitely. Congrats to Arnold on his top 10. Rainis on, I think it's 12th, and I saw Wayhan put in his best qualifying lap in on the last lap. So fair play to those lads, and then everyone else back at the team who's doing whatever it is they're doing this morning.
Cool, congratulations. One last question: you saw that you won the prize, didn't you, on the draw for the charity event? Have you given Darren your address details for that yet?
Okay, I'm ashamed to say, no, I didn't see I won the draw on the charity event.
Shocking.
Brilliant. I'll give Darren my address. What did I win?
You won the GT Omega office chair.
Seriously?
Seriously.
Wow.
So, yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Well done, mate.
Thank you guys very much. Wow. So yeah, so my last shout out then obviously is thank you to the guys at ARL-Tv for a fantastic series. Now you guys do a great job, and yeah, I'll have to go. See, it's my own fault because I stopped watching the entire race because I had to go out, and I'll have to go and watch the last hour or so then. Shame
yeah,
on
I
me.
can't remember where it was, but it probably was about the last hour or so that I called it out. I said, right, we're going to do the big one for the spectators, and yeah, I pulled your name out of the hat, so.
Wow, brilliant. Thanks a lot, lads.
Ironic, or funnily, you were actually in there twice as well, so there might be some, calls of some cheating going on there, because I pulled your name out again later on as well for another prize, but I said you couldn't have it, so.
Well, I did laugh when Mark Noble was pulled out first, and I thought,
yeah.
Deja vu.
Cool. Well, thanks, Mark. Well done today, and yeah, we'll see you next week, buddy.
Yeah, thanks a lot, lads. See you next week. Cheers.
Right, Luke. Bathurst Endurance is over. 20 minutes before we've got to get ready for GT Series. You sticking around for that one?
Unfortunately, it's getting a bit late here, mate. I might curl up on the lounge and start watching the EPL and probably fall asleep.
Yeah, no problem. Well, thanks for joining me in the box today. It's been a fantastic race. Yeah, those power bond guys just looking particularly quick out there, and I think if we someone needs to step up really quickly and take it to Tobias and Kurt, otherwise they're going to have a 1-2 in the championship, and I think Jake might be able to catch him up as well for a 1-2-3. I'm not sure. So yeah, going to be interesting. Mark Warmington sitting in 3rd place in the championship at the moment as well. So another 5th place just consolidates that for him. Mid Ohio is going to be a fantastic race. And
yeah, we should have a few more guys back for that one. I would suggest after a few of them skipping the 90-minute one tonight. I think they'll be fresh, and hopefully we might have a bit bigger grid as well. So maybe a few of the ANZ boys will be back to challenge those Powerbomb guys to the top few places.
yeah, right. Thanks again for everybody tuning in and posting comments on there. I sort of had a little look at it throughout the race, but don't catch everything. So yeah, thanks to everybody watching that one. We'll be back next week. I think you'll be doing a post-race presentation, will you, Luke? So it won't be going out live, but it'll be uploaded straight away after the race. So.
Yeah, that's right. If you just keep an eye on the ARL-Tv YouTube, I'll try and get it up there as soon as possible. I know the other week when I did it, it only took about an hour to upload, so you just might have to wait too long.
Great. Right, mate. Well, thanks for that, and thanks for everybody tuning in. This has been round 5 of the V8 Supercar Series from Bathurst. Tobias churning, Powerbond, just a fantastic performance today. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week.